Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Your ICAN Starter Pack. It's been an amazing ride, I believe. Thank you for all the likes, comments, for all the shares, for all the private messages in my DM. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Please do not stop telling a friend to tell a friend to click on the link to watch this video, right? I'm excited to have you guys on board. To my new subscribers, you are welcome. Thank you for watching my video. On this particular episode, we'll be talking about self-study or lecture center, right? And I am your host. My name is Chidinma Osigwe. Welcome on board. So, self-study lecture center. Wow. So let's look at this. Self-study means reading at home by yourself, Abby, but not necessarily at home. That means you have a private place you're going to read or take out time, burn the midnight candle to read at night, right? And then lecture center means that you are going to attend lectures, and after attending lectures, you have access to their facility to read, spend extra hours if they allow extra hours, right? And then you have access to more people. So let's break it down. For self-study, it means that you go out to look for ICAN packs. The moment you pay for your exam, you have access to ICAN packs. Or if you've not paid for exam yet, waiting for the deadline, or no money yet, waiting to gather the money, you're going to request for study packs from people that have passed that particular paper, right? And you're going to take your time to study on your own. If you have friends that you guys are like-minded on the same journey, you have them as people you can ask questions, right? Or if you have friends that can afford to pay for lectures, you can also access them to ask questions. But we all know that people writing ICAN are very busy people. It's either you are working or you are immediately out of school and someone is sponsoring, or you're sponsoring by yourself. But if you're immediately out of school with no source of income, obviously parent is sponsoring, uncle, auntie, or someone somewhere. But say you are working, you know you don't have that time, right? So I would just say this: you can opt for anyone that you like, right? You can opt for anyone that you like, that you believe works for you. I did self-study for some papers, not for all. I did self-study for some papers and I passed them. And then I took lectures for the most of my journey. So find out what works for you. What made me take on self-study? I had taken lectures, especially for FR. I'm sure if you have watched one of the previous episodes when I talked about when I had to rewrite financial reporting and public sector accounting and finance, you realize that I said I wrote FR about twice and PSAF 3 times. So at the second time I was writing financial reporting, I did self-study. Normally, I don't even check my ICAN scores. Once I've passed, I've passed. Once I've failed, I move on. But for that particular paper, that was the first time I needed to check what I actually got, to see what I am doing wrong and what I need to do better. So when I saw my score, I realized that, fam, I know this thing. And the moment I even saw that I didn't make financial reporting, I was like, duh, how am I not going to pass financial reporting? So all I just needed to do was to check what I scored, what I needed to do better, right? What would have made me make that cut for me to pass the exam. Even same thing with corporate reporting. I wrote corporate reporting more than once. And what even happened with corporate reporting was that it was because of a particular standard that I took for granted. It was even operating segment. Like, funny enough, I didn't take lectures. I did the intensive class, right? And there was this particular topic that I just took for granted. They even took the topic on my birthday. Maybe that was why I did not pay attention to the topic. So I was responding to people, people loving me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everybody trying to send me money and all those things. So I didn't pay attention. Funny enough, the questionnaire came out in exam, and that would have been, when I calculated the difference, that would have been my exact pass score. So do not take anything for granted. If you are missing out of anything, make sure you do your own homework. The homework I would have done would have been to pay attention to the topic that I didn't listen to read it again. So I would advise that if you are taking on self-study, right, you're taking on self-study, give yourself that time. That means you are going to put in more effort than someone going to class. I'm not saying someone going to class will not put in effort, because if you go to a class and you don't put in that self-study, you will still fail. There is no two way about it. You will fail. So anyone you want to do, self-study will still come up. But I'm talking about self-study without lectures. If you're taking on self-study without lectures, it means that you're putting in extra efforts. You're burning the midnight candle. That burning the midnight candle is cliche to me, because me, I'm not a midnight class person. I don't know how people do midnight class, midnight reading. Me, I will not trade my sleep for any exam. If I have exam the next day, I will still sleep. I don't know how people do it, but it didn't always work for me like that. So just find out what works for you anyways, Sha. Just make sure that you are not overworked for your exam, right? If you're doing self-study, find like-minded people that you can ask questions. There are lecture videos available. If you cannot afford to pay for the full lecture, that's why you're not taking it. If it is a finance problem, opt for the lecture video that you can always watch later, jot, and then read on your own. Always ask people questions. Find people that are like-minded. Like the second time I wrote my financial reporting exam, I have a good friend of mine. I even used to call him my brother. He was one that put me through those topics that I was lagging on. And voila, by the time results came out, I passed. Okay, so find people that you guys are on the same journey together, that have gone ahead of you, that have passed that paper. Sometimes they may have not necessarily passed the paper, they may even be struggling to pass the paper, but you guys will just share ideas together and put in the extra work. That's if you're opting for self-study. And then if you're opting for lecture center, find the lecture center that works for you. If you want to go to the lecture center that all your friends are going to, good for you. But me, throughout my journey, I tried as much as possible to avoid lecture centers that my friends were going to. At the end of the day, when I still get to that lecture center, I'll still find someone that knows me. That's why I went to the last lecture center that I did my skills and professional exam. It was at the reception that someone said, watch your video, I saw it somewhere. There's no how I can do my own, but you know what works for you, right? So find out what works for you. If it's going to where your friends are going that will help you pass, good for you. But for someone like me, going to where all my friends are going will not make me pass. Also, I don't go to lecture centers where all my friends are going to. I use God to beg you, I don't do it. Okay, so before someone will come and ask me that, have you read this particular thing? I come and put pressure. No, I don't even do it. It's even easier for them to say, after lectures we are going to so place. So I don't do it. I don't go to centers where my friends are going. So if you ask me to recommend, I cannot even recommend to you. What I will tell you is that go to ICAN website. When you go on ICAN website, you will see accredited lecture centers. I can only recommend where I have attended for you. When I was writing my ATS, funny enough, I attended a very not so big lecture center, not even so popular lecture center like that, somewhere in Ifako-Ijaye, close to my family house, Precepts with Passion, PWP Consult. That was where I attended when I was writing my ATS exam. When I was writing my skills, I don't remember taking lectures for skills. Okay, I didn't take full lectures for skills, but I used to read with that my friend that I mentioned earlier at Password. That was where we used to meet for him to teach me, and some other of my friends we used to meet to read. At the end of the day, where I now finally went for my full lecture when I was writing my professional level was First Choice Accurate, FCA. Everybody used to shout FCA, especially when it comes to case study lectures. So that's where I can recommend. Those are the three places that I'm not taking Password lectures, so I don't know how Password lectures look like. I've taken PWP lectures, I've taken FCA's lecture. I only know that I always go and read at Password. You can comment below if you can recommend your lecture center to somebody else. So another thing I would like to say is that study pack is underrated. You guys don't take this study pack seriously. I don't know about everybody else, but we are always after, we're always after lecture notes. Okay, I'm going for lectures, share me your lecture notes, copy somebody's lecture note or something. But the study pack is a manual. It's just like you bought a car, Abby. People don't even read manual for their car. Most times when they've gone to learn driving from one driving school, they'll just move on with life. But you shall get the point. It's like someone has given you a manual, a guide on how this thing should run. You realize that some things that you are calling your mechanic for, if you have taken your time to read your car manual, you would have sorted it out without waiting for your mechanic. True or true? So that's the same way it works. You want to set up your TVs because we don't read our manuals. It's just like ICAN has given you a manual for this particular exam. To pass this particular exam, this is what we are looking at. So if you look at what they are looking at, how are you going to fail? Funny enough, when MG was still MG before it became CSME, I even wrote my MG once. I was writing MG. I didn't even have study pack. So I remember that time I went to PWP to read with one of my friends on a Sunday. I didn't have study pack. And then I went to meet someone else that is also my friend at the lecture center. And I said, please give me your study pack. I want to read MG. He was looking at me like, you want to read MG? I said, yes, I want to read MG. Because most people don't read MG. I don't know why they don't read MG, right? That has become CSME. That some people have now written 5, 6, 7 times because they don't read it. I don't know why, right? So I picked up the study pack and they were preparing for PM, they were preparing for other stuff. I'd read PM and other stuff anyways. But why did I pick up MG? I think I was bored. I think that particular day I was bored and everybody was reading PM and I was already exhausted. So I just picked up that MG and I read MG for 4 hours. I kid you not. After that Sunday, I did not read MG again and I passed. I did not just pass with 50 on the dot though. I passed well. So these are the basics that we underrate. I just picked up a study pack and I noted the important items in my notes, right? And that was it for me. You might not be so swift in assimilation like myself, so let's not put ourselves in the same shoes. But the fact that I'm still bringing home is that I made use of a study pack. I'm sure if I used somebody's lecture note, maybe the person while jotting that would have omitted some aspects of it. Study pack is underrated. Go and collect your study pack. The moment I can change syllabus, go for that new study pack. The moment we are still using the old syllabus now since when they changed to this new one. If you have not paid for exam, collect somebody's study pack and read it. Study pack is underrated. Go and get your study pack. That's the end. Even PSAF that I had to write again, the final time that I passed PSAF, I did not take lectures. I picked up my study pack and I read it from cover to cover. I was just smiling in the examination hall. I knew all the 6 questions. Go and collect your study pack. That's what I have to say. Study pack is underrated. So if you are doing self-study or if you are going to one lecture center, the lecturer might be very good, but if you do not sit down on your own to read, guy, we are just wasting our time. So read, and if you have the time, go and get your study pack. Okay, so right about now I'll be taking some comments and questions that I noted down, maybe because I wanted to acknowledge the person or maybe because I wanted to answer the question. Special shout out to Street Project Foundation, right? So I came on board on Street Project Foundation as the administrative and finance officer during my NYSC program, right? I was even fresh during my NYSC program when I became a staff at Street Project Foundation, and that opportunity, that single opportunity has given me platforms to thrive, and in the space of 3 years I became a chartered accountant. So special shout out to Mrs. Rita Ezenwa Okoro, Mrs. Eduvie Olutimai, and Mr. Ezenwa Okoro. So right about now I'll be taking some questions/comments so that I attend to them. Okay, so this one says congratulations, saw a photo of you congratulating for being certified. We shall get the point. Did you take lectures? What do you advise? This person's name is Blessing Dede. So Blessing Dede, I'm sure if you've been following this video, yes, thank you very much for reaching out to me. Thank you for telling me congratulations. I took lectures but not for all my papers. I'm sure I've answered your question during this video, so find what works for you, regardless whether you're taking lectures or you're not taking lectures. Anyone you decide to do at the end of the day, you need to give yourself that extra time to study hard. Okay, this person says congratulations sis, you didn't tell me you are writing ICAN. Anyways, I'm writing too. I just started though, and I'll be needing your help from time to time. Okay, thank you very much for congratulating me, but you don't expect me to go around the whole Nigeria saying, hi people, I'm writing ICAN, hi people, I'm writing ICAN, except if you want to pay for my lecture or for one of the papers for me. Well, now that I'm about to write a CCA, I'm putting it out there so that you can consider the exchange rate and pay for me. God bless you as you do so. So you just started though. You'll be needing my help. Please be in my DM when you need my help. I'll be there to answer your questions and go through the videos just in case I've answered some of your questions during the course of this episode or during the course of this series. That's the word. During the course of this series. So look through the videos, all right? I'll be expecting you in my DM. This one says, hi Chidinma, congratulations once again. Yay, thank you. I'm heavily pregnant. Oh wow, congratulations. And I don't know what to do. I have missed lectures a lot and my husband is not helping matters at all. I really want to do 9th class. I'll keep her name. I'll call her anonymous. Okay, she says she's heavily pregnant and she doesn't know what to do. She has missed lectures a lot and her husband is not helping matters. Now she's already in the marriage, right? So congratulations to her. She's heavily pregnant. Congratulations to her. And she does not know what to do. She has missed lectures a lot. This is complicated. At the top of my head, I would have said marry right, duh. But at the same time, what makes you think she has not married right? So now the man that does not want to risk his child, am I trying to say he's not doing the right thing? He's obviously doing the right thing. So speak to your husband, find what works for you. If you want to do 9th class, even me, that I'm a woman, I'm not advising to do 9th class with somebody's baby, with the both of you baby. Because it's not only your baby. You need to realize that the baby is not yours only. It's also he or she is also your husband's child. So if your husband is saying, don't use my child to go and do 9th class, or don't carry my child to go and please sit down in your house and read, okay? You can always write your exam. You're not in a competition with anybody. You can write your exam after you put to bed. I actually had a friend that was heavily pregnant and she came for 9th class. I kept on asking her, how did your husband allow you come to 9th class with this heavy pregnancy? So if your husband allows you, good, you can come for 9th class. But me, that I'm not a 9th class person, if you see me at 9th class, you just know that it's because I don't want to stay in the room, and that is very, very rare. Or maybe I'm trying to manage transport. If you see me at 9th class, the truth is that I'm trying to manage finance. Maybe I have lectures at 7 a.m. I can't do that 7 a.m. lecture. You see me coming in at 8 a.m., 8:30. So if you see me sleep over at one lecture center, it's either two things. I'm managing finance. Okay, it's not because I really want to read. I don't used to do that 9th class thing. It doesn't cut it for me. So find out what works for you. You can give yourself different hours to read. You can read. For me, what works for me, let me put it out there, is I read before I sleep. Anything that makes me sleep and wake up to read, we are all playing. We are there to joke. So find out what works for you. Maybe when you are done cooking or something, or find someone that can assist you with all the running around while you just do the mixing to cook the food, make dinner. Then give yourself 2 hours every day. If you want to write 5 papers before, please now, why do you want to do that? You can split it. Write 2 papers. You are not under pressure. Where I will have problem is if your husband tells you not to chase your goals again because you are married to him. If that's not the conversation here, from what you have said, if that's not the conversation here, you are heavily pregnant, you know what to do. You're already heavily pregnant, you're almost due. Sit down at home, take care of your husband's child. You've already suffered for almost 9 months. Don't lose that baby. That's when me and you will have problem. When you put to bed, come to me in my DM. Let's see what we can do about sending you some diapers. God bless you as you do so. And when you finally return back to writing your exam and you qualify, I'll also be expecting to congratulate you. So find out what works for you. You can opt for lecture videos now. People are even taking virtual classes everywhere. People are opt for lecture videos, opt for virtual classes. Don't carry somebody's child to go and be doing 9th class. Mosquito will not finish you and the child. Doctor will not say the child have complication because I used God to beg you. I want to congratulate you when you eventually put to bed. So thank you very much for reaching out, and congratulations once again on your journey to becoming a chartered accountant. Yay! So let me just call it a day on this episode now, because if I choose to take comments are plenty. Congratulations. Thank you guys for sending me congratulatory messages. My name is Chidinma Osigwe. Until I come your way next time, this is your ICAN starter.